Good afternoon. I'm Mika Short, Vice President of Development for the Paso del Norte Community Foundation. And starting today, landlords can take the first official step towards helping their tenants avoid eviction due to financial hardships caused by COVID-19 through the EP Rent Help program. The program, which was funded by $10 million in CARES Act funding awarded by the City of El Paso, is a joint project of the Paso del Norte Community Foundation, the El Paso Apartment Association's Under One Roof Fund, Harvey Home Connect, and Baker Ripley. Coming up today, we'll talk through the process to participate in the rental assistance program, explain a little bit more about how awards will be made, and provide information on how you can apply. To help talk through it all, I'm joined by Adriana Sudemak from the El Paso Apartment Association and by Jaime Campos from Baker Ripley. Thank you both for joining us for this Facebook Live today. We want to begin by explaining the timeline of the program and answering some common questions. So you'll be able to see on the screen coming up that today, July 22nd, we open the enrollment process for landlords. So this means that landlords will be able to access the necessary forms and begin inputting preliminary information about their properties into the web portal and seek a determination on eligibility. So in order to participate, landlords, the property needs to be located within the City of El Paso limits. So between July 29th and August the 2nd, tenants and landlords can gather and sign supporting documentation and input application information into the web portal. And then after August 3rd, the Paso del Norte Community Foundation and its partners will verify the information that applications that are submitted and begin dispersing funds directly to the landlords. So you'll see that landlords have to apply on behalf of their tenants. So the program will not be administered on a first-come, first-served basis. Rather, the partnership will seek to distribute the funds to those who are in the greatest need. Landlords will apply on behalf of their tenants, and tenants will be required to provide information to their landlords to complete the application. If a landlord is not participating, the tenant will not be able to apply on their own. So while this program is limited to tenants living in the City of El Paso, we will not ask for your immigration status, nor will it be used in making decisions about who receives funding awards. So we're going to, I'll ask a few questions of Adriana and Jaime, and we welcome any questions that come from the public. So please, if you have any questions about the EP Rent Help program, now is your opportunity to pose them and get responses from the experts that we have on this call with us today. So Jaime, I'm going to ask you, you are on the receiving end of these applications, so you deal a lot with the general public, both the landlords and the tenants. So can you tell us what some of the common questions that you receive from landlords are?
Sure, Mika, thank you for having us. We're excited to be part of this program. And so I'm delighted to go over some of the questions that you have. So a lot of the times that we deal with landlords that are inquiring about rental assistance programs such as this is, can they apply for future months if they know that some of their tenants will be needing the assistance? So for this program, I want to clarify that this is available for rent currently due. So they cannot apply for future months. So for El Paso Rental Assistance Program, we're talking about April through July. If any of those months are past due, they can apply for this program. And then also, any questions regarding the jurisdiction, we want to clarify that this is for the City of El Paso, not El Paso County. So it has to be specifically within the El Paso city limits. Another common question is there a limit on the number of properties that I can register? The answer is no. You can register as many properties as many as you would like, as long as they're located in the City of El Paso limits.
Awesome. So yes, this future rental assistance is not part of this program. This is for past due rent. So that's really important to emphasize. So Adriana, I wanted to ask you what you would communicate to landlords who might be hesitant to participate in this program.
Okay, thank you, Mika. And I think the first thing I would bring up is that is to remind you all that your migratory status has nothing to do with these decisions. The reason that we want you to work together with your tenants is that so we can get through this process quickly and efficiently. We understand that landlords are going through a hard time too, and we want to make sure that we can get those funds distributed as quick as we can. Now, it's a 3-step process. If you have any questions, you can always reach out. We're happy to help you, and we're here to support you. So you can count on us.
So what should a landlord do if they don't have access to our website? So there's a lot of information available at www.eprenthelp.org. There's information available for landlords, for tenants, frequently asked questions. But if someone doesn't have access to the website, perhaps they don't have Wi-Fi or they don't have a computer, what would you recommend to them?
Fortunately, we have a lot of partners that are willing to help. So if you need access to Wi-Fi or if you don't have a working computer, you can always go to any branch of the YMCA inside of the city limits, and they'll be happy to help you. There are other organizations that have a Wi-Fi accessible. So if you go to our frequently asked questions, you'll find a map, and it'll show you all the Wi-Fi sources in the area for you. You can also go to the Consul General of Mexico, and they've been very gracious. They'll help you fill out your form if you have any questions, and they're ready to help you out as well. So the only thing that they all request is to give them a call before you head over, so they make sure that they have computers and that they're ready for you.
Thank you, Adriana. So Jaime, if a landlord doesn't want to participate because they feel that it's too hard a process, can you tell me how easy it is for a landlord to enroll on our website at eprenthelp.org? Like, what information do they need to provide to you to enroll?
The enrollment process is fairly simple for a landlord. So what we're looking for is for them to provide an identification of the person that is completing the enrollment online, so that we know who is the one that's applying on behalf of the landlord. We also are asking that they attach a W-9 for the property they're applying for, because we want to confirm, the ownership and the tax classification to make sure that the payments are made appropriately. And we also are verifying banking information, because we want to make sure that the funds are dispersed to the appropriate account.
So once a landlord applies to participate in the program, how will they know if they meet the criteria to participate?
As soon as a landlord enrolls a property, our staff will immediately begin a verification process. So once the property is verified, we will add it to a participation directory, which means they're now eligible to begin the tenant rental assistance application on their tenant's behalf. But more importantly, to answer your question, the landlords will receive an automated message immediately by email to let them know that the property has been approved and is now added to the participation directory.
So the participation directory that you mentioned, it would be available on the website for tenants to go and verify that their property or their management company is participating in the program?
Correct. If you visit eprenthelp.org, there is a link that's titled Participation Directory. And once a landlord is approved and is added to it, you will be able to easily go to that link and verify that the property is participating. If your landlord does not appear there, you can encourage your landlord to enroll so that they can become a participating landlord. If you have already completed the landlord enrollment and you did not see your property listed, please give it time, as we have just launched the landlord enrollment today. So we are still going through verifications.
So what would happen if a tenant wanted to apply without their property being listed or their landlord participating?
One of the great things about this program is that we have worked out an agreement with landlords to be able to do things such as waive fees or provide discounts for rent. So because of the terms that the landlords have to agree to, the the tenants are not able to directly apply for rental assistance themselves without going through their landlord. So this program is designed for everything to flow through the landlord. So I would encourage all tenants to have communication with the landlords about the program's existence and encourage them to enroll for this program as a landlord.
So Adriana, you work closely with the justices of the peace in the community, and they're the ones that oversee the eviction hearings. And of course, we are working together, collaboratively to try to prevent evictions and prevent homelessness through this rental assistance program. So what advice do you have to tenants who may already have received a notice for eviction about how they can be proactive about getting their landlords enrolled in this program?
Okay, so if you've received a notice to vacate or if you're being asked to leave, I think the most important thing is to go to that website and share that information. Make sure that your landlord is aware of all of the steps. Make sure that they're willing to help. And this way we can make sure that you'll stay in your home and you can be safe, especially now where the recommendation is that we stay inside as much as we can.
Yeah, it's really critical for us to prevent homelessness in this community, and everyone's being impacted by COVID-19. And so these funds are intended to keep families together in their homes so they can shelter in place and quarantine in a safe environment. So thank you for that information. Okay, we have the EP rent help schedule that has just been posted that you can see. You'll see that today was the launch of the landlord enrollment. So that was July 22nd through the 28th. And Jaime, this reminds me of a question that I thought would be good for you to answer, because I have received questions from landlords who have already been verified to participate, and they're really anxious to get their tenant application turned in. So can we submit that now if we're ready? So what do you say to those very motivated landlords that are willing or are interested in getting all of their applications turned in today?
Well, I'm excited to hear that landlords are eager to help their tenants out with rental assistance, and we encourage them to make any necessary preparations for it. So, to answer your question, as soon as the landlord is verified as a participating landlord, the email communication that I mentioned earlier will include a link for the landlords to be able to start immediately submitting applications for their tenants. So at that point that the application is verified, it's just a matter of the landlords being able to gather all supporting documents from their tenants and be able to have them complete the application. So theoretically, if somebody's approved today and they get all the tenants' documents and application in place, they theoretically can apply today. So it really depends on when the landlord is verified.
Awesome. So they don't have to wait till July 29th, but we're carving out that time knowing that they do need to work with their tenants to provide this extra documentation just to verify their eligibility and for us to be able to prioritize the funding, because this is not on a first come first serve basis. So it wasn't like Black Friday for us where everyone was waiting for us to open it up at 8 a.m. today so they could be one of the fortunate ones to receive funding. We are going to prioritize based on need, and so we'll let the application process close, the period close, so then we can go in and assess all of the applications to be able to prioritize the greatest need. Right, Jaime?
That is correct, and that's something that I forgot to mention, that even though they can begin applying today, we still will follow the schedule on when we begin verifying tenants because of that prioritization.
Right. So we are very appreciative of the very motivated landlords that have prepared for this rental assistance program, knowing that it was going to be launched today. But we want to make sure that it's fair for all applicants, and we want to make sure that we're helping those in the greatest need. So that evaluation of the applications will be conducted once the application period closes on August the 2nd. So what do we tell people, like, when are they going to see their money? I think that's really where the big question of the day is. So we're going to apply for this assistance, and then when are you going to show me the money? So Jaime, what do you think? So Baker Ripley, we will start processing some of those funding awards after the prioritization eligibility is evaluated and determined, right?
Yes, so we will follow a timeline that was shown earlier. So as you mentioned, the landlord enrollment opened today. We're going to have the tenant verification begin on July 29th, and we're going to allow a period of a couple of days from July 29th to August 2nd for those tenant applications to come in and be verified. And then from August 3rd and onward, we will have the first couple of payments start going out. After that, we will follow a weekly schedule for payments, depending on when the pledge was made for that particular tenant.
Awesome. So just to be clear, funding will not be dispersed until August. So even if you have your application submitted by the end of the day today, because you're on the ball and you have everything ready, you don't expect to receive funding until August at the earliest, the beginning of August 3rd. So we know that the need is great, and we know that funding is really important to prevent evictions, and we're working as quickly as we possibly can. But we do need to make sure that we are in compliance with the guidelines for this federal funding that has been made available through the CARES Act. So Adriana, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to mention your location for El Paso Apartment Association if anyone has a need to come in and use the computer, or if they have any questions to reach out to you on the landlord side. I know the Paso del Norte Community Foundation is receiving calls as well. So we're trying to make sure that we meet the need of the community of just being able to respond to their questions.
Absolutely. If you need help or if you need any assistance, feel free to come visit us. We're at 5730 East Paisano. Please give us a call before time so we make sure that we have a laptop and that we're ready for you. We'll have masks, we'll have social distancing and everything. So we do prioritize your safety. So please feel free. As I mentioned earlier, in that frequently asked questions portion, you'll be able to see the addresses for the consulate, for our office, and for all of the YMCA branches.
Awesome. Well, I don't think that we've received any questions from the general public. That means we've been very thorough in presenting this information. So good job, Adriana and Jaime. Thank you both again for joining us today so we could just be a little bit proactive about getting this information out to those who are in the greatest need, especially landlords that have the ability to enroll today or beginning today, and those tenants that are hoping that their landlords will act on their behalf and get them the rental assistance that they need. So if you have any final words of wisdom for our viewers today, and if not, then we will go ahead and end this Facebook Live, but just want to make sure I give you both the opportunity to offer any last comments before we end this.
Sure. So earlier we talked about making sure that it's past due rent and not future months. Just wanted to add to that, even though this is available on our website, this is for a maximum of 3 months worth of rental assistance. So I encourage everybody, whether you're a landlord or a tenant, to visit eprenthelp.org to find out about how the program works and all the details on the eligibility, and encourage all landlords to become participating landlords. Thank you.
And it's limited to $1,000 per month, up to 3
Correct.
months. So if your rent is $1,800 a month, it's not going to be able to cover all of it.
Correct.
And I would only add to Spread the word. Tell this about your friends. Tell your landlords. Tell everybody that you can, because we do want to help the most people we possibly can. So please help that, and please help us in that mission, and we will be happy to support you every step of the way.
Well, thank you, Adriana, and thank you, Jaime. And we will be available via our phone and via email at El Paso Apartment Association and Paso del Norte Community Foundation for any other follow-up questions that may not have made it as part of this Facebook Live today. So thank you, guys, and I look forward to working on this and getting out that assistance to those that need it most.